welcome back, guys. A question from JEE Advanced 2023. This question is about functions. The domain is given, the codomain is given, and then they're asking whether these possibilities are correct or not. You can go through this question at your ease and at your patience. See, the domain here is an open interval. This is an open interval. This is an open interval. And the domain has a discontinuity at 1, discontinuity at ahead of 2 and till 3. So let us go for a graphical possible sketch of this function and say from 0 open till 1. If I take this as an open interval, if this is a part of the domain, and then from 1 till 2. So if we go like this, and then from 3 till 4, if we have a open domain like this. In this different parts of the domain, the possible output values can be either 0 or 1 or 2 or 3 as a discrete set of values. That means the output can be at this level or at 1, this can be a possible output, or 2, this can be a possible output, or at 3, this can be a possible output. How many possible relations or functions can exist? Option A says infinitely many functions from S to T. So if I say that I take a position of x equal to A, and at A I assume that the function is at the level of 2, and at A plus let the function takes a value of 3, and at A minus the function takes a value of 1. You are absolutely at your liberty to select the possible output at a certain position of the domain. There is no functional relation that binds you to a certain possible set of outputs. As a result, since you are free, you can even alter these values from amongst the possible outcomes at either 0 or 1 or 2 or 3. And this can happen anywhere. As I told you, let's say this is a possible value of B. At B, let's say I have taken 3 as the possible outcome, 3 here. Now at B plus, it can be at 2 and like this, so on and so forth. There are various possibilities, numerous possibilities, and hence the number of possible functions from S to T are truly infinitely many. This is a correct answer. Now, if the number of possible functions are infinitely many, and option B says that infinitely many strictly increasing functions exist, would be logically incorrect. Simply because if there are all total infinitely many functions, and all of them are strictly increasing, is not going to be possible. As you can see, the very next position, that is at, let's say, A plus plus, it can come up here. It becomes a discontinuous and a decreasing function. Not a decreasing, but you can say not an strictly increasing functional nature. Even if you keep all the domain values at the same level, let's say at the same level, if you keep all the domain values at the same level, still it's not an increasing function. So I can say out of infinitely many functions that are possible, some of them are going to have a stagnating value of outcomes or outputs. That is, the output can stay limited to a constant value of either 0 or 1 or 2 or 3. There can be other possibilities where the function values can decrease. So not all of them are going to be strictly increasing. So this is all the functions, infinitely many strictly increasing functions is simply not going to happen. This is not possible. The number of continuous functions from S to T. Now this is an amazing situation. Now you see, the moment you use the requirement of continuous function. Now let's take the domain from 0 to 1. All the domain values from 0 to 1 interval, if they have to be building a continuous function, then the outcome has to stay at a constant value of either 1 or 2 or 3 or 0. I repeat, all the domain values in a given interval should produce either 0 or 1 or 2 or 3, any one constant output to remain continuous. An example, look at this, an example, 0 to 1. Now in this 0 to 1, if the function stays constant at 0, now that's done, that's complete. Now from 1 till 2, now from 1 till 2, if the function goes to the level of 1, y equal to 1 and this is y equal to 0. Now see, there is a continuity here. And then again from 3 to 4, let's say from 3 to 4, if it remains at 0, if it remains at 0, if this is what is going to happen, then you can see that the function is again continuous in this particular domain. But these choices of y values are four distinct choices are available to each of the domains. And how many domains do we have? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 3 domains. And 3 domains. Each of them has how many choices of outputs? 4 choices. 4 outputs for each domain interval. And as a result, net possible outcomes are 4 into 4 into 4. 4 outcomes available or applicable to this, or and 4 outcomes applicable to this, and 4 outcomes applicable to this. Any one out of 4, each of these domain intervals can take. So there are 4 possible outcomes in this into 4 into 4. So overall 64 different outcomes. This is the total number of outcomes. Total number of continuous functions that are possible. And hence it is less than 120. This option is fairly acceptable. This option C is fairly acceptable. Now every continuous function from S to T is going to be differentiable because it's going to be a straight line function. A straight line function is definitely going to be differentiable. It will have a slope 0. So this is a acceptable solution. This is the nut and shell of this question. Hope you have followed this and understood. Stay subscribed for more on this ideas of solving advanced questions.